Hi, Una.
Hey, Doug.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm good. Let's talk about what we're doing.
We are doing a podcast called Amazing Teams. Why are we doing this podcast? What's the purpose of it?
To learn how others are building amazing teams. There's really no playbook. So if we can have conversations with people who are building or have built an amazing team, I think it will be helpful for us, let alone our 8 listeners so far.
But you know it best. You got to start somewhere. So, one thing that's exciting to me is I've seen teams, or let's say groups of people, very smart, very ambitious, very driven, fail in such crazy ways that I've always had this feeling that it's the team more than just the combination of the greatest individuals that win championships, not a single championship or a single game, but they're consistently performing and doing well and having a great time. I don't think it's just about producing results. It's also about making life fun and enjoying the people that you're producing the results with. And I think the combination of all those things, I define as an amazing team. And I just believe it to my core that those teams or having a team like that is so much more important than having a group of the greatest individuals on earth.
Yeah, we all want to be that top contributor. We all want to be the star that everybody recognizes, but really it truly takes having a team of people that work well together, that understand each other, that can anticipate each other as a collective, perform at a high level.
You can have a good group of people win a game, but to do it repeatedly, that's the hard part. What you said about anticipate each other resonates with me. When I was thinking about what does an amazing team mean to me and what does it feel like? It feels like when you're working with people where words are not needed. You've gotten to this level of trust and understanding where you can do things and understand why they're doing a certain thing or understand that you want them to do a certain thing or they are encouraging you to do one thing. This anticipation, trust, and being in the state of flow. I think we talk about the state of flow as individuals, but there's a state of flow with teams as well, where people are just meshing. Starting this podcast is clearly for our own curiosity to learn how to build an amazing team, how to be a part of one, and then help others doing the same. What does an amazing team feel like to you?
An amazing team feels like we are moving forward and we're doing it together. For me, it's togetherness. And I think we're all better together, thinking together, dreaming together, and when we share values, purpose, and mission.
One other reason why I think this podcast is fun is because we'll get to talk to people from all areas of life. Amazing teams exist in family teams, in sports teams, and community teams, work teams, right? You don't have to be an NBA superstar team to be able to teach how to be an amazing team. I think there's examples of that with people that we see every single day, and it'll be fun to learn how do they see that? How do they build them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
What brought you to wanting to do this?
I've always wanted to do something different than build digital tools. I love building software, but there's something I love about this. There's something I love about having conversations. I've had the benefit for the past 7 years to have really great conversations with people who are striving to build amazing teams. And the one thing I've learned over the past 7 years has been that tools like Hey Taco are just one tool in the toolbox. It takes a lot more to build an amazing team. And so for me, it's been really neat to hear about these things that people are doing outside of the screen and outside of tools like Hey Taco and their strategies and their tactics that are helping them succeed.
Well, and you've been part of an amazing team even before Hey Taco, right? Like you know what it feels like to work on an amazing team.
That's true. And I think you said something to me early on that really resonated with me. And that was everybody's definition of an amazing team is different. but everybody knows what it feels like to be on an amazing team. And that's so true. And I think that's really something here that is special when we get to talk to people and hear how they're doing it. We also get to hear how it feels doing it. And I think we all kind of share those feelings.
I agree. Usually when you ask a question like that, people will have a team come to their mind within 5 seconds, right? That's, I think that's one of those questions of what's an amazing team you've been on? We all will have an answer right away of what's an amazing team we've been on.
Tell me about an amazing team you've been on.
The first thing that comes to mind is my high school volleyball team. I'm a volleyball player. I used to coach volleyball, and to me, I'm biased, but volleyball is the ultimate team sport because you can't do anything without at least two other people to get the ball over the net, right? Otherwise, you're playing tennis, and there's no stopping, right? You can't just hold the ball and say, "Let me think about it." You have to be so in sync with your teammates to be great and to do really, really well. So I remember this team I was on in high school, and we were in this championship game. I can't remember what the championship was, but there's this final point. The game was almost tied, and we were almost done and whatnot, and we had the lead, and we just had to score one more point. And I could totally remember being in the game. I remember what the last point was, and I remember just everyone knew exactly what to do. There was no conversation, almost no conversation. I knew what my role was. Everyone else knew what their role was, and this one of the people on my team, she scored, and it was just such an ecstatic feeling. But there were so many things that led us to there, and we were friends outside of the team. We understood each other. We had really authentic conversations, and even though we were teenagers, right, it felt so good to be part of that team. And I could remember the feeling of what it felt like to play with that group of people. And I think I'm just always on the quest of recreating that, the state of flow, understanding each other, deep trust, whether it's playing volleyball or running sales teams or now being with you at Hey Taco. I'm always thinking about, how do you create that? Because it's such an awesome feeling. Like, why would anyone want to live without that?
Yeah, that's incredible.
I'm excited to learn more about how do other people do it. It'll be interesting to find out. Everyone has their own, as we said, everyone has their own definition and everyone has their own recipe. And it'll be fun to
Yeah.
learn what are the different ingredients and ways to put them together to create amazing teams, because every team is different. I don't think there's a single definition of or a formula of how to build one. Are there any types of people you're especially excited to learn from?
Teamwork spans across everything, all the way from the court to the operating room. And so I think the unique thing here is it opens us up to the possibility of having conversations with people from all walks of life. And that's pretty exciting. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out our first episode with Daniel Todd. And if you or you know someone who would be an amazing guest, you can let us know by going to amazingteams.com/feedback.